Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we are about done with this super massive nuclear power plant. But in case you haven't watched like the last 30 videos, no worries, I have a bit of a diorama overview right here, where for the most part, we're gathering up resources and making uranium fuel rods. We burn those, that makes uranium waste. Through a bunch of processing, we turn that uranium waste into plutonium fuel rods, and if we burnt those, it would make plutonium waste, which we can't handle. So we're trying to make Ficsonium fuel rods, because they take the plutonium waste and produce none themselves. And that's the last set of machines we need to build in order to complete the entire plant. And we've already been making good progress. We have all of the SAM and Ficsite we needed. The diamonds have recently been completed, so all the loops and all the materials have been gathered up. And now we're gonna be taking all those diamonds and turning them into time crystals in like 30 of these converters. And that is really the last big thing we need to do for this project. Making the dark matter crystals is like 2 particle accelerators here. We already have all of the nuclear capacitor we're gonna need. We have all of the resources elsewhere. We need like 4 manufacturers and then a couple more loops to make the Ficsonium itself. The last piece of the puzzle until we can make the fuel rods. Getting the systems built for them is our big goal today. But first, stage 1, time crystals. Again, real simple recipe, 12 diamonds to 6 time crystals. And if we fully overclock things, we only need to build 29 converters. And the good and bad news around here is since this area is so well developed, there are not really a lot of options for where to build 30 converters. So we're kind of just gonna use whatever space we can find. And the other nice thing is this item is really easy to produce at this stage. We've already completed all the diamonds we need for the project, and we have about 867 and change per minute. So this will almost be like setting up a bunch of constructors that are way bigger and take up an extraordinary amount of power. But that'll be fine. Our power is looking okay, and we shouldn't have too much trouble with it until we want to get this factory fully booted up. Let's get started then. We have some room in the back of this building, so yeah, we're gonna use the space we have. We're gonna spam up as many as we can. It's 1 belt of diamonds, so a simple overflow through all this will work out great. If I had SAM fluctuators, fantastic. Man, I should have known. I should have upgraded some subsystems before starting this, but here we are now. So let's just do what we can. Overclock these out the wazoo. Copy and paste all of the settings. This belt will move somewhere else. We got plenty of room in here. Ha ha ha, XD. And now we just want to start setting up the overflow. So we'll have just a few splitters going in this direction, just like you would, a manifold for constructors, and all the diamonds will run on through easy peasy. The real big thing is we need this belt to continue forward into the next set of converters. And since we have hardly any room at all, our choices are limited. So we'll have like a splitter around here. That'll go over to this converter manifold. Then the time crystals will scoot on out this way, and we'll gather them up. Then we'll have a main time crystal belt probably going along one of these belt highways. Got an extra lane right in here, so I can scoot on through. No problem at all. Then the diamonds, I don't know. We'll stack them on top of this belt highway. Figure it out later. And we'll set up the first subsystem for now. And that gets the party started. First 7 are in place, have plenty of room for everything, and we have a nice little throughput monitor right to buy the turbo fuel over there for when the system actually is running. Belt work wise, yeah, we have so much vertical space, nothing's really a big issue, and it's only 1 item, so it's fine. It's just we've got to build 21 more of these, and they are chunky. Like they take up 4 whole tiles. And so I realized we pretty much do have to use any space that we see, and I saw this space, so we're working here. And in a perfect world, we could fit like 10 down here? No, looks like it's gonna be 8. All right, that's not the end of the world. Yeah, we can get 8 down there. And you know what? We have some vertical room. We're gonna build another floor and have another 8. Just up here, probably? I need to see how this looks aesthetically, and I think that will look great. They're gonna be lower than the reactors, and the next tier down is particle accelerators, and then it will be a field of converters. And the other nice thing is that we can fit 8 down here, right, per floor. So maybe we can make a blueprint with sets of 4. Let's get the big blueprint maker. Set her on down. Then probably not do anything too complicated, but just something simple so I don't have to redo the belt work over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And who knows, might help out in the future as well. You know, for the next time we're making hundreds of time crystals. But no, this will do us well. All the belt work is done skis, and the power is as well. So all the items will overflow through here, can go to another layer or another set, no biggie. And then downstairs we have all of the outputs being gathered up. And everything is looking dandy. Time crystal converter system complete. And now can we fit them in here? Like, I know we can fit them in here physically, but the belt work's gonna be real tight and real weird. We don't have a ton of space here. And with this blueprint, we can only fit 8, right? But then the input and output belts for the entire system are kind of gonna be in a wall. It's a little tough to work with. Go through this wall. What the heck? Oh, this is all the walls and aesthetics from the roof here. Okay, so it's hidden. That means we can do whatever we want. Perfect. So we'll have the belts split down over this way. Some will scoot up, some will scoot down to mirroring blueprints. We just gotta make sure our centered. Looks pretty good. Oh, and I didn't even notice that either. But the main splitter is kind of in the middle of the platform, meaning we could do something like this. It gotta mix both the belts together if I'd line them up properly. TLDR, that should be fine to hook up. Then it's just the outputs. They're the scariest bit. So the outputs will end up over here, and they lead directly into free space for me? Hold up, this could actually be super simple. Barely an inconvenience. Have that there, scoots there, runs on down. Then we'll have another system here. This could be super possible if there's not organics behind here. It's okay, we have solutions. Bury the organics in concrete, thank you. But no, that will be fantastic, because that can probably reach just beneath this platform. And that'll just let us hook up all the time crystals to a main export belt. And since this is a conveyor lift, we have the technology to put a merger right on there, and we are hooked up to the next floor, no problem. Now, does it look good at this point? Because this is almost the whole design. It's not bad. Kind of looks like a bridge. I do really like how these converters look though, where they just have like the solid black concrete underneath to support them. We have options, but maybe I just get everything working first. And one wonderfully simple boop. And aesthetically, I don't know, I try to add in some more pillars here and there, but I think, like with the rest of this plant, once Ficsonium's actually automated, I'll go through everything and do a lot of detailing. Like over here, for instance. I think we could cover this up a little bit better, eh? In fact, we could do that right now. Because since we've built this, that was 16 plus the previous 7 we had inside, meaning we've belted together 23 converters. And there's not a lot left. And again, because it's just the one item going into one system, the belt work is very straightforward. Everything worked out fine over here. With all of our time crystals, well, they start skeeting out of Dodge. Just where I was saying before, that main belt out this way. Now, at the end of the day, we're gonna be making about 434 of these suckers a minute. And this is the majority of them. Yeah, this is really simple. Thank you, ImKibitz, for leaving that logistics lane available. And you know what? We might be able to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone here. I need to detail some of this crazy belt work over here. And I need to build, I don't know, a handful more converters. What if I designed a building around this and then incorporated those couple converters? Then we're done. 2 things at once. What a good idea, Kibitz. Thank you, Kibitz. Let's give it a shot. Okay, but like, how are we gonna do this? Well, I always like to have my builds walkable, right? So since we have a path here, that path can go to this platform, and we can build some sort of entrance here. Oh, we even have signs? Oh, even better, something to read on the platform. It gives it purpose. All right, now let's mix together some squares. We'll have some basic walls out here, just to cover all this up. Clip it into the bins there, because it shouldn't clip all the way through. No, it doesn't, so we can still see the signs and click on the bins, which is perfect. And if we're doing that, maybe we do like a 3-block structure where we have one big rectangle kind of covering the main belt merger here. Long story short, this is just a giant like quick wire overflow build. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I've been working on this for a year, okay? Lots is going on. The LDR, it just balances all the belts out so that all these manufacturers are fed properly. Anyway, since we'll have a wall there, we can have kind of like a working zone over here. Kind of like an area we could walk in and see what's actually happening inside the build. Yeah, that should be neat. And so there's some height variation. This side of the build will be a little bit lower. Maybe we can just give it like a tar roof or whatnot. Y'all know I love me some tar. Very aesthetic. Oh, and then in the middle here, so we can kind of see some of the belt work. Ooh, we could have this all be glass. Switch it up. So not only do we get to see everything, but we have a little bit of height variation. And I love height variation. The most mission critical thing of all is since we're so far along in this project, with all of the builds that we make, they need to still match up with what we've done before. So although I've done arguably some cooler stuff, we need to keep the style that we have going here. So everything's all nice and matchy-matchy. And this fits in perfectly. A couple signs, maybe some windows on these walls, and we're good. In fact, the front here could just be a giant window. Why not? The belt work looks awesome around these parts. Maybe straight up full frame it. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Almost looks like a spaceship. If we had like another build like that on the right here, it's like 2 engines. Or maybe I'd just be playing too much Helldivers too. Probably a mix of both, let's be real. Anyway, off to this wall. Maybe we add in the depth, but I also have to work with what I've built here before. So we'll have this all be concrete. This will scoot on down, and then we'll switch back to the tar roof design. So this middle bit actually stands out quite well. And if ever there's like a belt in the way, we can just add a floor hole to kind of pretend that it was used and incorporated. And that is amazing. Maybe we can even lower this down a bit, have even more height variation. Oh, we absolutely can. We just barely have the space. Okay. This is going super well. We're cooking with gas. Yes, this is it. I love it when things come together this way. And then over on this side, just so we can vary up the building's designs, we can introduce like a new shape. So this will go over this way. We'll leave a bit of a landing area over here. And then maybe, oh, there's a walkway right there. We could have like a walkway behind the whole build scooting on through here. Ooh. Yes, dude. Okay, I'm in the zone. In fact, I was too in the zone. I don't know, everything was just fitting together so well. We got so many cool windows here, got some beams, a few signs, some decorative pipes, and these height variations, man. Oh, I love me some height variations. So we have the signs there, we have the windows here. This centerpiece has all the glass so we can still look through. And then on this end, we're able to sneak a path through the whole 9 yards. And it looks amazing. The best thing of all is it fits with everything we've been building in this area. Fits like a glove. Like, look at it from afar, eh? It's like it was always meant to be there. But then I lost the plot. The whole point of designing this whole thing right now was so we could fit in more converters, but I was just on a roll. And now the whole build is done and it looks amazing, but there is not really any space for any converters. And you know what? All things considered, it was all worth it. Like, look at this. It looks like all one giant complex here, as if it was always meant to be. But let's get back to the task at hand, eh? Where are we gonna build another 7 converters? You know what? It might be time to use the forbidden space. There's some distinctly empty spaces around our control center here that I've been saving for the very end of the build, mostly for quantum encoders. We don't really have any other options, so guess we're gonna start diving in. Yeah, it's time to cash in some of the chips. We do actually have quite a bit of space and not a lot left to do. It's maybe like 20-ish machines, especially considering all the converters we've already built. In fact, we might be able to fit the rest of the converters right here. We only need a handful more, right? And it's not like we can't adjust things a little bit. So let's see how this goes. Perfect world. We can get all of them right here, right now. That's 4, 5. That'll be 6, and then we need one more. One more. I think we're shy by like half a tile. Wait a second. This is my world. I can do anything I want with it. You are gonna go literally anywhere else. Goodbye. I need that exact half a tile. So we can build the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll have to do some groundwork, but then 7. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Wait, the belt work. They fit in, but what about the belt work? Ooh, past Kibs, you gentleman and scholar. He left the ground level here free, so I can do all of the merging just right here. Easy peasy. Input-wise, though, practically the same deal. All the free space I could ever wish for. Can move these blocks literally anywhere else. And then the aesthetics around here with the floaty, naughty machine. How do we fix you? We could make this a bridge. Could that work? Pretty much. Gonna have to do some aesthetic designs here and there. But overall, they fit. But are we in the accordance with the rule of cool? Oh my gosh. Not only does it look cool, but they're centered with these reactors in the pit here. Do you see that? Oh my gosh. It was always meant to be. And so with a little bit of extra belt work and aesthetic shenanigans, we now have all the time in the world. Well, time crystals anyway. They're done. And yeah, all things considered, that wasn't too bad. Plus we got a bonus project done. And one of the best parts about finishing a project is checking something off a to-do list. Let's go. That is like the last big part of this puzzle. In fact, I think the next biggest thing is gonna be concrete of all things, where I have a constructor here to represent the project, but we actually need so much concrete. We need 1,750 concrete per minute, and that's gonna be for our singularity cells. And if we just use constructors, which can handle 15 per minute, really, that'd be like 120 constructors. And worse than that, over 5,000 limestone. So yeah, know what? Actually, we're not gonna do that. For probably the first time in my life, we are going to unironically use the wet concrete alternate recipe. It takes limestone and water to make concrete. I know, insane. But the numbers, so much better. Whereas with the default recipe, we need 5,000 concrete. With this recipe, we pretty much need half as much. And best of all, past Kibs actually had a plan for this. And we have limestone all over the place. And I brought over thousands from other biomes right over to here just for this project. And with all of this limestone, just scooted it through the chaos down over this way, where I had this nice little available corner for a handful of refineries. And we're good. Concrete on deck, sip included, and it fills out the area nicely. Not like we really ever see that corner amongst all this chaos. Like, that's where the refineries are, just back there. Because I didn't really want them to be a big deal around here. Like I was saying earlier, there's a lot going on, and I don't want anything to stand out too much unless it's like really important. And if we did something like build like a modified concrete hellspire over in the nuclear power plant, it would just be too much. And we gotta save the remaining spots for the big stars, like the Ficsonium production line, which we can actually do all back here, behind our control center. Like back at the diorama here, this was it. These machines, this is like 2 particle accelerators to make the dark matter crystals. Ficsonium itself, I think it's like 3 particle accelerators. Then it's like a few quantum encoders, and all of the reactors we need to burn the Ficsonium are already built. Like, this is it. It's just gonna be a bit of wrangling. These singularity cells need paste, dark matter crystals, the plates, and the concrete. Well, at least that's done. But did past Kibs actually deal with the plate stuff? Now, survey says past Kibs did. I think we're actually making a bunch of iron plates for the nitric acid blenders over here. And I think I need a lot of extra iron plates. In fact, those are iron plates right there. Belt goes to me. All right, past Kibs did have a plan here. But you know, just in case, it would be good to double check on what he was doing. I think we're using like a really weird alternate. Using an assembler with iron ingots and plastic. Holy smokes, dude. Are you seeing these ratios? That's nuts. That is really, really, really efficient. It uses an oil product, which is like, but dang. 187.5 per assembler. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 assemblers. Okay. Yeah, we're good on plates. We are so good on plates. In fact, it looks like I even set up some smart splitters to send things in the proper directions. Oh, bravo, past Kibs, you did it. You made future Kibs proud. Bask in this moment. Might be one of the only times. All right, then we should have pretty much everything we need, and we can start building all of our machines. So back in the area I was pointing out, I did a little bit of prep work. Kind of just paving the way and getting ready for today's project here. And now we're gonna build all of our machines here and a few over there. And like I was saying earlier, the dark matter crystals, they're only gonna need 2 particle accelerators. So a lot of this is gonna be following rule of cool methodology. I have 1 accelerator there, another back here, and we should have space beneath for shenanigans. Oh yeah, plenty of space beneath. In fact, we could even raise these up higher. This will be fine, generally speaking. The big deal is getting the 3 particle accelerators over here. We're only gonna have 3 to make Ficsonium. I really, 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 really need them to fit right here because these machines are huge and there's no backup spot. And this ain't looking good, Chief. Okay, technically, it's blue. Is it gonna do a little floaty nonsense? Yeah, but hear me out. What if back here is now actually a building? Future Kibs, you're a design genius. You can absolutely make this look goofy. Good luck. Have fun. This is our Ficsonium land. And all these suckers gotta be overclocked. Overclocked out the wazoo. Yeah, we gotta save on space at this point. The quantum encoders that we're gonna be building later, chunky. And I want them to look very, very, very aesthetically pleasing. So I don't want to screw myself over here. Lastly though, we need 4 manufacturers for the singularity cells. And I am certain I have manufacturer blueprint. We have so many blueprints. Oh my gosh, of course, yes. Input only, lifted expandable, lifted for input. I'm pretty sure we have like a stacked, yes, that's lifted stacked blueprint. Oh my God, it's beautiful. And we only need 4 of these? Past Kibs, you are cooking, buddy. Cooking with gas. We'll have 2 here. Set up the next 2. Sure, there. How does that look? It looks phenomenal. What do you want me to say? It looks phenomenal. In fact, I can already see the whole building putting itself together here. We have like a main walking path that goes to our control center. And then the path can go to the left, go through a center area. So we can walk through, look to the right, see all that. Look to the left, see all this. Oh my gosh, and it's gonna look awesome. So all that's really left is some wrangling. We gotta get a bunch of belts through all of this. Let's start with the easiest thing first, those time crystals. Time crystals, we left those off just over here behind these water pipes. So the whole main belt should just be around the corner, eh? Past Kibs should have done that. Let's pretend they're right here. They go to right there, skewed over this way. Then we'll pick up the last few time crystals from this set here, skewed on down here, following the empty belts, skewed on up here, and then we're practically at our destination. And usually I like to boop in and say, oh my gosh, this is so difficult, burr, 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 burr. No, this was totally fine. We have so much infrastructure built, and since we're at the tail end of this project, I can just get to use whatever space I want. So everything just scooted on in. Even getting the iron plates, there's another belt highway that I could just stack the plates on as well. And that brought all the goods right to the destination. Even going through like the busy places. Like in here. There's surprisingly a lot more space than there looks. And it looks pretty dang busy, I know. But there's still space, see? iron plates. Big chillin'. One thing that was a little difficult was getting the concrete over here, just because it was 2 full belts pretty much, right? But then we have some refineries down this way making turbo fuel, which means we had all this ceiling space. So it was like a little shortcut just behind all the reactors and stuff. We take those kinds of deals. Concrete goes from over there, scoots by all the train tracks, over across this wall pretty much, and then right underneath the destination. I did have to raise up the particle accelerators though, just so we had space underneath for a little bit of the belt work, but it's fine. And you know, all these machines, they're just small little doodads. They don't need a lot of items, just a few time crystals and some dark matter residue. And at least for the residue, it's a gas, so it's not really a whole big thing. No head lift, just pipe logistics. And lo and behold, past Kibs had all of the dark matter residue sitting right there, ready for this project. All scooted down this way, out through all here, and just to where it needed to be. Most of which is needed for the Ficsonium. Each of these loops needs 500 dark matter residue each, which is what each of these pipes are. But then, you might notice, there's no pipe going to one of the particle accelerators. That is because there's gonna be a problem in the future that we're gonna have to deal with. That problem is that when we make the Ficsonium fuel rods themselves, there is a byproduct of dark matter residue. And the byproduct from these quantum encoders is going to have to refeed into the process that makes the fuel rods themselves. Things will go wrong there. But at least for now, we got some belt work done. Dark matter crystals hooked up. These machines, pretty much ready to go. Those are belted to here. Just went underneath all of these water pipes down this way, because past Kibs was generous and left me some room. Just showed you the concrete and the iron plates as well, which just leaves the nuclear pasta, which we already have automated in our glorious Star Forge, which a little inconveniently is kind of like on the other side of the map. So we're gonna have to set up some drones, or just one. I think past Kibs actually did have a plan for this as well. I just have to remind myself what the heck I was thinking. So we have some drones that bring nuclear pasta from the Star Forge over to our main base right here. So that is going from A to B, and that's so we can use our portal network. Past Kibs also knew we'd need a lot of pasta to make the Ficsonium. So I'm thinking we got an extra drone port around these parts, ready to go. And you better believe it, bud. That is the pasta drone. It's bringing things in this way. Output goes to, a smart splitter, with the overflow going towards our main base portal network, and the main output going into a bin, which goes into a drone port, which is already fueled with turbo fuel. Oh my gosh. Past Kibs, I do like it when your plans come together. So we just need a drone here. We just gotta send it somewhere at our nuclear power plant. And to be blunt, my brain is kind of cooked from decision fatigue, so you know where I put the drone port? Right there. See it? I don't know. I just thought if there's a drone flying in that way, it'd look cool. You already have all of the other bees buzzing about, so why not just add in one more? And the great thing is, if I don't like its position, I can just put it literally anywhere else. And for now, I just want to get this final bit of belt work all together here, so that the entire Ficsonium system is practically ready to go. Just need a few things to get things running, like some plutonium waste. Oh boy. And also a bunch of quantum encoders for that extra dark matter residue. Oh, and the Ficsonium, of course. However, that big finale will be next time, because we have accomplished a ton of stuff already, and we are practically done. There's only 2 real steps left in the entire nuclear power plant project. Then we'll have all of the power in the world. So if you're excited as I am for that, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.